Let's talk about slop content on YouTube. Yesterday, Doothi released a video that was a re-upload because her video got taken down for this reason in this clip shown here. Wait, before I forget, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I just want to make sure I get that out of the way. Okay, like, comment, and subscribe it? Did you do it? Did you do it? Did you do it? Okay, cool. All right, bye. Back to the video.
Commentary YouTube is becoming slop. This video was taken down because I learned that large commentary creators had shared my video in their group chat and apparently got very upset about being criticized. As a small creator, this was obviously very intimidating. These people have a lot more money, connections, and followers than I do. I was asked to change my thumbnail. I was even asked by a featured commentary creator to unlist the video at only 3,000 views. I'm re-uploading this video that I spent 8 months on to implore you, the viewer, to watch this and form your own opinion. Was I too harsh, or are commentary YouTubers scared that people are waking up to slop content?
She's the one who took down the video, and after I watched her video, I decided to do a critique of her video that was an hour long. Now, basically, what I'm doing is a part of what she's critiquing in the video. I'm going to get to that in a second. And I would like to talk about the second clip that I'm going to include in this video, which is right here.
So that was the unabridged video that had upset the commentary creators so much. I think the criticism was pretty fair, but again, this whole video was supposed to be a message to the viewers. Transparently, these creators can make a lot of money setting a camera down, reacting to bad movies, dating shows, TLC, and TikTok drama. You are the consumer. You have every right to question and criticize the quality of their content. At the end of the day, they may not act like it, but they are rich influencers profiting from your attention, and influencer fatigue can apply to these people as well. Take a break from their content and even take a break from my content if you feel it doesn't serve you. But a big theme on my channel is thinking and using your brain. If you like them as people, if it's what you listen to as you brush your teeth, and if you're burnt out from the news cycle and need some levity, commentary's fine. I made that point in my original upload. But you do have the right to think and the right to ask, do I have any problems with this? That's a right I'll continue to exercise, even if it ruffles the feathers of some commentary big shots, because the reality is their ad revenue, HelloFresh checks, and reaction income is at stake the more thoughtful you are with your content consumption. And to any commentary creators watching this upset about my original video, wondering what my intentions are with this upload, I'm not trying to destroy or replace you or network with your enemies. I don't know where this idea that criticism is hate was born. Criticism doesn't need some weird ulterior motive. My intentions with this channel have always been to create an audience of critically thinking people. I've been fighting irony, nonchalance, cringe, and above all else, brain-off culture since my channel was born. If you don't like something, just keep it to yourself, just let people enjoy things, is probably the response I'll get from this, because as a commentary creator, you're incentivized to have people not question the content you're feeding them. It would be easier if the critics just kept things to themselves, but I'll continue to be the person who criticizes my favorite books, my favorite artists, and the genre that I'm a part of, because on this channel, it's always that deep.
In my initial video that I released yesterday, literally 6 hours after her video, I said that you should go watch her video in the beginning of my video. I actively told you that if you wanted my thoughts on the situation, I specifically chaptered the video so that you could skip through everything in the video and just watch my thoughts at the very end, because that's pretty much the only part where I differ in terms of analysis with her, and I'm adding new points at the end of the video. That was important to me to bring up. Now, let me explain why I did this. I wanted to see if you do the extra 2 seconds of legwork to go to a video that I personally chaptered to hear my thoughts about the subject overall. If I didn't do that, if I didn't include her video, you probably wouldn't have watched the video. On this channel, I have made 2 videos talking about the very phenomenon she's talking about. It was the parasocial dilemma with content creators, and for some reason YouTube auto-dubbed my other video to Italian. I'm not quite sure, but I made 2 videos 6 months apart, and they didn't do that well. If you look at the thumbnails of these videos, you can see that I'm talking about Ludwig and Moist Critical, and I'm talking about their surface level analysis, and those videos didn't get much traction. But now that I've attached some drama to it, more people watch. The goal is to get more eyes on it, and I want to talk about the comments I got in that video, because a lot of them are wildly correct. The irony of a commentary YouTuber reacting to a video advocating people thinking for themselves is clearly not lost on this creator. This is definitely an ironic video. I'm watching a slop tuber watching a pretentious AI slop video. Neat. Also, I don't think slop is inherently bad, nor is carroting to algorithm. I mean, Searles and this YouTuber do it all the time. Being defamatory, edgy, Being defamatory, edgy feeds into outrage, which in turn feeds into your niche, hence the purposeful, provocative title thumbnails. He said this with a troll face, and even her putting the faces of creators on TV. Content doesn't need to be deep. In fact, if you break it down logically, most content can be argued as slop. Simplicity is sometimes just works. Sometimes someone wants an in-depth video, other times someone wants a haha, isn't this stupid, guys? So really, to me, this discussion a whole nothing burger. But generally, thanks for the slop, Saros. To point this out, everything is that deep to me. I think most things are that deep, and I do agree with this person's point overall. That is a very good point. I love mid that hits, and I'll talk about that later, but let's get into more comments. I'm absolutely dumbfounded by the irony on display here. You, sir, are doing the exact same thing she criticized the big creators for. Just because you're a small channel doesn't absolve you of her points. You are trying to distance yourself from the big creators, saying, ooh woo, I'm a small creator, look, I criticize the big guys, the exact same way big creators try to distance themselves from celebrity influencer status, saying, ooh, I'm just a YouTuber, we all make fun here. I don't know why I clicked on this video, probably because of the peanut gallery itch. I did not realize this video was an hour, and literally 2 minutes in, you're just repeating the same point she makes and don't add literally anything else. At the end of the video, I added my own points, but basically it was me just adding on to her initial points and giving what I assume to be the commentary that I gave on my parasocial videos. That's basically what I was doing. I do want to point out that I agree with what he said, by the way. I'm not even saying that he's incorrect. He's 100% correct about what I was doing, but let's keep going. I like your content because I don't always agree with you, so it keeps me more attentive to what you're actually saying so I can decide if I like your take or not, or if you give a different angle to consider. I agree with a lot of it, but there's also about 25-30% where I disagree, and my brain is built to prefer counterpoints, not agreement. If you are like this, by the way, welcome to the channel. I hope and advocate for people to be wildly different than me, and I do not want a deep echo chamber of everybody just constantly agreeing with me. I hope that you disagree with a lot of things that I say, and I hope you even disagree with me making that hour-long video yesterday, because that's kind of the point. And saying how Doothi re-uploaded a video about how commentary YouTube is slop now, and one of her points is how they stretched the video to over an hour, and this guy 6 hours later drops a video over an hour-long commentarying on it, which I heart reacted because that's literally what I did. I've watched a good half of it, and it really doesn't get better. I think he maybe is missing the point. Like, there's some good points he made, but also a lot of stupid, irrelevant, and repeating points. Yes, that's kind of the point. You see, this is really important, and I want to point this out. If I had more time, I would have written a shorter letter, right? One rule of YouTube that I've learned is to take out everything that's good and keep only what's great. That's the big rule of YouTube for a lot of things. Commentary channels don't do that. They don't need to. They can make a animator's YouTube job hell, right? Because animation YouTube, it could be an 8-minute video, and it could take them 2 months to make that 2 months to make that 8-minute video. Commentary YouTubers can see a video, it's on TikTok, and then they could just react to it. That's the point of her video. It's the ability to make a long stretched out video, because the most important metric is not the quality of the video, it's the time you spend on the video. That's the important part of what's going on. So that's the entire thing. The reason I made an hour-long video to nearly usurp her original video but tell you to watch her video is simply by virtue of showing the Ouroboros of content creation. I'm showing you what it is. Now, it is 100% correct, and I'm happy you critique me. You're 100% correct to call me out on it. You should keep doing that. Call out other content creators as well. This is important. Penguin Zero is a hack, absolute bottom of the barrel piece of trash. A little bit of a harsh critique there, not gonna lie to you, but I do think Penguin Zero is a big offender of slop commentary, where he just says, hey guys, this is pee pee poo poo butt stinky, these guys are disgusting, look at these troglodytes here doing nonsense, why they remind me of the dirty bubble, cause I blow on ya. Anyways, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That's about it. See ya. And then that's basically what he does. He just kind of gives very surface level, not deep commentary, but it's what people love. Also, I made a bunch of points in my video about my own personal opinions about things sparse throughout the video, such as this. At 7:30, I don't know, but I think Danny is hilarious. I laugh at all his videos. That's because I don't think Danny Gonzalez is funny, by the way. I want to point that out. That's my own personal opinion, and I'm happy you disagree, because some people love Danny Gonzalez. I don't think he did anything inherently wrong, by the way. And also, I want to point something out. None of these content creators did something inherently wrong. It's not as if they did something evil and irredeemable and they need to be canceled for doing so. They are just feeding into the slop grind mill. I think people are missing that point. This isn't about playing this evil role in making everybody hate these commentary creators. It's not about tearing their platform down. It is pointing out a flaw in the system and critiquing it. That is the point of Doothi's video, which I hope you've seen, and I linked in the top comment because it's a very good video. Now then, there are going to be no more clips in this video in any capacity. I am literally just going to give my thoughts about commentary YouTube slop. So if you don't want to hear my thoughts, you can click off the video. Hopefully you like, comment, and subscribe as I stated in the beginning of the video. If not, then that's fine and dandy. If you don't enjoy the way I speak, you don't enjoy my voice, maybe you want to do something better with your time, go ahead. Now then, I'm going to give my critiques. I made a video yesterday about the Doothi situation. It's always a situation with these people, you know what I'm saying? I love to see it. Me pointing it out ironically and being self-deprecating doesn't change the point that I made a video about it. I made it because she raised a point that needed a bit more weight behind it, and I thought I could add something without deeply repeating what she said. And so at the end of the video, I put my thoughts on it. But this video is going to be a just kind of summation of my thoughts. I am talking about commentary. First things first, timing matters a lot in a space where content gets buried within hours. Do you know how many videos get uploaded to YouTube every hour? Over 100,000, and I'm lowballing like crazy. The algorithm does not reward patience. It rewards presence, being there, being loud, being now. And art has been deeply devalued over the past few years because people are able to get everything instantly, and hundreds of people are trying to be artists. Why wait for this small creator when big creator do the same thing? You can spend 2 weeks crafting the most thoughtful analysis of a situation, and it will get crushed by someone who recorded a hot take on their phone in 20 minutes and uploaded it immediately. That is a description of the terrain. As a matter of fact, I don't even hate that because I'd like to hear what people say. I want to know what's going on, and I know my stupid idiot brain is going to forget about it. I forgot I have food downstairs, by the way, and it's still in the microwave, and I just remembered that midway through the video. I need people to understand the terrain because it means you can navigate it without pretending it does not exist. I included a link in the top comment of this video to her video. I chaptered my own video so people could skip straight to the end if they wanted to hear my take without waiting through setup. That was navigation. And I also made my thumbnail deliberately clickbaity so people would click on my video. That is manipulation. That's deep manipulation. And I'm showing you what it takes to be a YouTuber. I think what it takes to be a content creator, and it sucks to say this, and I hate to say this, but it's true, your willingness to manipulate your audience. If you're not willing to manipulate your audience or manipulate people at the lowest bottom denominator, the least sophisticated person in the room to get someone to click on your video, then you can't be a content creator. It sucks to say that, but the person who popularized this really good is Penguin Zero. This situation is horrible. The something situation is crazy. The Goo Goo Gaga situation is disgusting. This person is irredeemable. Thus, you're curious about which person is irredeemable. What's going on? The vagueness of a title. The vague posting. Hence why every single vague post on Twitter goes viral. People start commenting and asking questions. It is engagement bait. It's almost as bad as rage bait, but it doesn't get you angry. It just gets you curious, and curiosity killed the cat, and you got 9 lives, and they're going to use each of those 9 lives to crush you. That's what they want to do. I do the same thing. That is content creation. That is the beauty of it. And I'm instructing you of what you should choose to enjoy and what you should choose to not enjoy. If you genuinely enjoy watching my content, then please continue to watch my content. I don't want you to be deterred because you think you're actually losing brain cells watching me. If you think I have something to say, I would hope my commentary adds some insightfulness to your life, and I hope that you can disagree or agree and put your critique down in the comment section below. I try to make videos that have at least some semblance of analysis that isn't just deeply surface level. That is what I try to do. That is my goal with my YouTube channel a lot of the time. Now, the second reason I did a lot of this stuff is the speed of the content mill needs interruption, needs a pause, right? The moment when someone says, slow down, think about what you just watched, consider whether you actually agree or just assume you do because the person talking sounds confident. Doothi's entire argument pointed at something real. Larger commenting creators have a drifted way of thinking, right? They've drifted into a safe, corporate, watered down version of things. Very Mr. Beastification of YouTube, if I could be so fun to say, because I'm using buzzwords. The opinion gets tested against the group before it ever reaches the audience. Nobody says anything that might alienate the circle. I said this, but I want to point something out. This is not like some wild phenomenon that only exists in commentary YouTube. This is kind of the landscape of a lot of just reaction and critique content, right? You might know this guy, Khaby Lame. You might know this guy right here. He built an entire career on that exact formula with no words, just his reaction face. That's it. He had a Fortnite skin. I didn't even know this guy's name until I found him in Fortnite. That's why I know who Khaby Lame is. It's just the silent acknowledgement that something is silly. And that works for laughs. And that's cool. I think if you enjoy that kind of content, that's great. I don't hate you for that. But it is generalistically very brain dead content. That's just what it is. You can enjoy garbage. I love the Super Mario Galaxy movie. The movie's trash. I unironically enjoy the Minecraft movie. I just love it. It's just I just think it's fun. I think it's a fun movie. I don't have anything else to say. I like movies that people think are bad. I think they're good. I don't know. I like to see things for myself so that I can critique them without listening to 100 other critics telling me it's bad. It is good to get that information so you don't waste your time, but I love wasting my time. Everything I do is a waste of time, but because everything I do is a waste of time, that means all my waste of times are meaningful. You watching this video, if you consider it a waste of time, it is meaningful because you chose to do it. That's what I'm wanting to get across. That is my counterpoint to Doothi, by the way. I think it's important that you know what you're doing with your time, and I think she thinks that's important too. I think she's not calling those people out. I think that she wants you to just be informed. Being informed doesn't mean we have to tear anybody down, by the way. I think the problem lives in the saturation. Too many people saying the same thing with the same tone, same cadence, same safe distance from any real take. The audience feels like they're getting analysis when they're getting a deep performance, a performance of insight without the actual work of insight. The performer learns to sound thoughtful. The performer learns to pause at the right moments, to inflect certain words, to furrow their brow at the appropriate time. None of that requires actual thought. It requires mimicry. And mimicry is a skill anyone can learn. So you end up with hundreds of channels where the host sounds exactly like every other host, making the same points in the same order, reacting to the same clips, to the same expressions. The individual disappears it into this template. The template becomes the brand, and the brand becomes the algorithm's favorite food. How am I able to say all these critiques and actually have them be at least somewhat meaningful in some capacity? Well, as I stated earlier in this video, I already made 2 videos on this subject. This is very important to me. I think this is a wildly important thing. As a matter of fact, anytime a big commentary YouTuber makes a video about something, anytime something of that variety, some drama happens, because I want to keep up with the content mill, because I value this, because this is my full-time job, I try my best to bring up those same points in some small way and make new interesting angles on it while talking and critiquing it. I try my best to. If you go through any of my videos, I try my best to provide actual insightful commentary, because I have been thinking about these things and writing these things down for God knows how long. I don't script my videos, by the way. I kind of just have the other stuff living rent-free in my head. I just want to point this out. Very off-the-cuff, reaction-based stuff here. Just want to point that out. I don't write scripts for everything that I do. That would take too much time, and then you guys would forget about me, and I wouldn't even be here right now. I like to look at the underlying causes behind this too, such as the COVID era, which is an accelerant overall. People wanted connection during the COVID era because they couldn't go outside. People wanted bonds. Isolation made parasocial relationships feel kind of warm and necessary. It's a substitution for the human contact that if you talk to another person, you would get COVID. Twitch streamers blew up because they offered a window into a room where other people existed. That's what it is. When someone acknowledged your presence, even if it was only through a donation message aloud, let's say Corpse Husband. Oh man, that sultry voice. That's amazing Corpse Husband voice. Sykkuno, who is a manipulator. Oh my goodness, that's the whole thing. Sykkuno sucked. But during that time period, he was great. The audience attached to the personalities is the way you attach to a friend you text every day, right? You don't actually talk to the friend, but you text them. Except the friend does not exist in the way you think he does. He doesn't know you exist and never will. And that's not inherently evil. That's human. That's why people fall in love with AI. It's human to fall in love with an idea of connection. That is very human. And it's also manipulation on the bigger content creator's part. But that's kind of the content game. Every single content creator, every single one of your favorite content creators, all the big ones, all the best ones, they manipulate you. And I just wish for you to be informed. I believe that is the point of Doothi's overall critique. It is you being informed about things. The real problem also is the problem when the warmth of this connection replaces thinking. That's my big issue. When the personality becomes the opinion, when you stop asking, what do I think? And start asking, well, let me see my favorite content creators think. You may not even actively think that thought. You may subconsciously have that because you say, well, I want to see what they think. I want to watch a review about this and see what I should think about this. And that shift is so slow. You watch someone for weeks, you start anticipating their reactions. You start feeling like you know them, like you understand their values, like you could predict how they would respond to any given situation. And when they don't respond in that specific way, you feel betrayed. You think, okay, so they support trans people, they obviously hate Israel, but maybe they love Israel. I have no clue, but they support trans people. How can you support trans and love Israel? And then they might critique and say, well, Palestinians don't actually like trans people either, but they're getting genocided. And then you have a conversation about issues with that because you don't agree with every single take. How can you eat at Starbucks? This is disgusting. How are you still shopping at Target? Only places in my area and gas is $5. You should just go to a local store at local cost too much. Well, you're just making excuses, and that's fair. That's fair. It's a fair conversation to have. Just that's what it is. You should actively not be able to. No one's gonna agree with everything you say. You guys are not gonna agree with everything I say, obviously. But you start feeling like you know them, like you understand their values. That's ridiculous. Then a controversy arises. You wait for their video, they release it, you watch it, you agree with it. But did you agree because the argument was sound, or did you agree because the person arguing it making it feels like a friend? Right? Which one is it? That's the whole point. I think people are missing something about the Doothi situation as well. She's not attacking smaller creators. She was pointing at a structural problem. That's it. That's the whole thing. The content mill flattens everything it touches. Individual voices get ground down into a uniform paste that spreads easily and digests quickly and leaves no residue, because residue will require thinking after it. Thinking about it. Just thinking about it. The machine does not want you to think about what you just watched. The machine wants you to watch the next video, the next one. Hey, click right here, this next video. Hope you enjoyed this. The machine wants your attention to be endless, seamless, and automatic. Any video that makes you stop and reflect is a threat to that seamlessness. Any video that makes you close the tab and sit with your own thoughts is a failure in the machine's eyes. The machine does not care about truth. The machine cares about retention. Think about doom scrolling on TikTok, right? How much of that information, and this is very important, how much of that information do you actually keep? How much of any of the information you watch on TikTok or scroll through do you actually keep in your brain? Are you just watching to fill time because it feels as though you are being entertained? And if you just wish to be entertained, that's fine. Same reason I watch Solo Leveling, man. I love just watching nonsense garbage slop. I like watching cool animation. I don't really care that much about the story. Jujutsu Kaisen is so cool because the fights are amazing. That's what it is. The reason I made my hour-long video so fast, so very, very fast, is to show that if you keep people watching for 60 minutes, the machine smiles upon you. If you make a tight 15-minute expansion of someone's arguments, the machine shrugs and moves on. The length becomes the measure of value, not the insight, not the clarity, not the unity, just the minutes, just the seconds, just the raw quantity of time you extracted from a human life. You know what's even funnier than that? Some of you may be watching this video at 2 times speed, just so you can watch something else, or maybe 1.5 times speed. And then someone's going to comment and say, I'm actually watching this at this speed. Thank you for the engagement. I said that statement so you could comment. Good on you. That's all I did. This follow-up that I made right here is only using 2 clips from a video. I want to focus on the conversation. Too many clips create noise. 2 clips create a deep signal, I think. The point is not to beat her argument into submission. The point is to let it breathe. And I want you to think about it. I want you to form your own opinions. If you want to keep watching those commentary channels, good, great. I am so proud of you. I think the core is what people should be discussing. Just the core of what it is. That's all I want. The point is to let it breathe in a different room and see what shapes it take. When you strip away the excess, when you remove the padding and the repetition and the filter that content creators rely on to hit arbitrary lengths, do that. Very good video on YouTube. It's one of my favorite videos on YouTube. It is simply this. It's Big Bang Theory without the laugh tracks. I recommend you watch this video. It was 14 years ago, and this is where I believe I started to understand that, man, okay, I'm being programmed by propaganda to laugh at stuff that I really don't find funny. I also would like to point out that any of the criticism you give me does not bother me. Disagreement means people are thinking. Thinking is the entire goal. If everyone agreed with me all the time, I would have no way of knowing whether my ideas had merit or whether I had simply assembled an audience that reflexively nods along. I don't want a nod along audience, honestly. It'll probably get me more views, a lot more money realistically, and you'd watch probably all my videos. But I don't want that. As a creative, that's very disheartening to have. And also, I'm not going to war with Doothi. I don't know where people got that narrative from. I don't know what's going on. She made a point. I expanded upon it. To me, that's collaboration. I think punching up is a little bit more important than punching down. I think critiquing larger creators, larger systems, and larger patterns, right? Because I'm a part of the larger pattern and the larger system, but I'm not a larger creator. I'm still a part of the larger thing. That is where everything should sit together. That is where change might actually happen. A smaller creator attacking another smaller creator benefits no one. It divides attention, it creates camps, it turns potential allies into enemies over small differences and phrasings or emphasis. The real enemy, to me, is the machine. And I think we should really love delayed gratification over instant gratification. I think that's an important aspect to have. Please, by the way, I chaptered this video so you could skip around and maybe you could actively just watch parts you want to see. You are not a bad person for watching large content creators. I love Myth That Hits. I watch Black Clover. I watch Fire Force. I really love Dragon Ball Super. There is a place in the world for things that are not trying to be profound. Sometimes a man just needs to see another guy screaming and powering up and punching a hole through a mountain. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's beautiful. I think that's good. The problem is not the existence of slop. The problem is the deep oversaturation of slop to the exclusion of everything else. The problem is the parasocial attachment that makes people feel personally connected to someone who does not know their name. The problem to me is watching the same take from 12 different faces and calling it research. Again, I just gotta reiterate this. I don't fault anyone for consuming slop. Slop is tempting. Slop makes you feel like you're doing something. Either activism or analysis or I'm staying informed, and that feeling is seductive. It's addictive, and anything can be an addiction if you become dependent upon it. The feeling is also often false. Watching someone read a Wikipedia page out loud with reaction images in the corner is not activism. Watching someone summarize a controversy you already know about is not staying informed. Watching someone get angry on your behalf is not the same as being angry yourself. The work of forming your own opinions requires friction with your own brains. It requires reading that does not come with a deep timestamp. It requires sitting with uncertainty. It requires admitting you do not know enough about a take yet. None of that fits into a 12-minute video with 3 ad breaks and a sponsor segment about Air Up. God, I hate Air Up. Also, I think the shame piece of this whole thing is real. Like, people watch slop, right? They know they're watching slop. Good. They feel a small sting about it. Then they see someone else watching the same slop, and then they say, oh, okay. All right, misery loves company. The comment section filled with people making the same jokes, or they'll just comment a joke from the video, referencing the same moments, building a community around the shared consumption of something they all know is not good for them. That's connection. That's community. That's a Discord server. That's what it is. It's beautiful to me, but the foundation of it is sand. Build on sand long enough, and eventually the tide's gonna come in. This is the tide. This is what the tide is, by the way. Now, my last video, you all thought against me and thought for yourselves and went against me. Good. That's healthy. That's exactly what I wanted. I gave my opinions. You gave yours. We did not argue. We had a conversation. That does not mean anyone lost. It means the conversation did what conversations are supposed to do. It expanded, it shifted, it produced something neither of us had before we started talking. An echo chamber would have agreed with me. I don't want that. You made points. You pushed back. I appreciate that. You made me think about things I had not considered. And that's amazing. I might even consider watching Danny Gonzalez again. Who knows? And I would love if you joined my channel. You know what I mean? You're free thinkers, and I would love you as my subscribers. That'd be lovely. And you could say that's manipulation, and that's fair. It could be. I don't know. Would I tell you? Yes, I would. And maybe I am manipulating you. Who knows? But I do genuinely mean I do appreciate anybody that free thinks. I want people to tell me when I'm wrong. I want people who can hold me accountable when I drift into the safe corporate, watered down nonsense that I claim to hate. An audience that only agrees with you is not an audience. It's a mirror. Mirrors do not challenge you. Mirrors show you what you already look like. I want people who will crack the glass and hand me the pieces and say, look again. What do you see now? This whole Doothi situation was never about Doothi. It was never about me. It was about a pattern of speed, safety, and sameness that has eaten the commentary genre from the inside. She pointed at it. I pointed at it again. Now you are here. You are watching this video. Think about whether you have seen it too. That's it. Whether you decide after that question is your choice, and your choice is the whole point. Your choice is the only thing the machine can't take from you. It can take your time, it can take your attention, it can take your clicks and your views and your comments and your engagement metrics. It cannot take your decision to stop, to think, to choose differently. I want that for you. I believe the machine is not going to change. The people who benefit from it will keep making money. The machine will keep flattening, keep spreading, keep rewarding. And you know what's crazy? This video doesn't work. I'm just going to go right back to doing what I was doing before. It's really not that big of a deal for me to go back to what I was doing before. I can't make slower videos. I can't make my true artistic endeavors. I need to make what I can in order to live. And that's how a lot of these content creators are thinking. I am trying to build something though. I'm trying to at least provide some analysis of some sort that makes people think for a moment. The trying is the point, I believe. The trying is what separates the work from the slop. The trying is what makes the exhaustion feel like it might be worth it. Anyways, you go ahead and tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below, whether I repeated points. Probably repeated some points, not quite sure. More than welcome to critique me in the comment section down below. More than welcome to talk to me. I'm here. I'm just a guy. Nobody important. He made a follow-up video of this, and he's just trying to milk the drama. Sure, I am. Yeah, 100%. I agree. And you clicked on the video. And now you got me another click. So yeah, I'm milking the drama, but you clicked on the milk. You must want really strong bones, buddy. I'm proud of you. Anyways, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see content similar to this. I'm out. Peace. Bye.
I'm your nigga night, be my loyalties low. Ooh, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, I love the ride when you're free.